Welcome, thanks for clicking on the video. Today we're doing something a little different. We're talking about something I have been hearing a lot about. My family has been talking about. The topic has been on CNN, etc. And it's about the 45th president. You know, the guy that has no experience whatsoever. But for some reason enough people love him to make him president. I'm sure he loves you all back. Yeah, back to the topic. We're talking about the possibility that our president pisses off Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is, and he tells us all to screw ourselves and sends his robot-like army soldiers, and maybe a few of these, and this happens. And big cities look somewhat like this. But I'm sure our brave presidential leader will be there to help and support us, or in the bottom of his tower, or on Twitter. We're made to believe that this an attack won't probably not happen. And it probably won't. Probably. But then again, a dog sometimes catches its tail. So in this video, I'm going to be giving tips, if that's what you want to call them, or at least what my family does to prepare if Mr. Mr. President, causes a war. So today we're talking about tips on surviving a possible World War III. And before we go further, I say the word World War because the U.S. has allies in it, and the definition of World War is really confusing, and there are more important things to worry about. Moving on.
Out of the money.
In an end-of-the-world-like scenario were to happen, stores and shelves are going to be gutted. A good example of possibly what this would look like if this war were to happen is that zombie movie with Brad Pitt. Z World or something, I don't know. And most likely a purge-like scenario would start to happen, but instead of 24 hours, it's like forever. So finding a place for shelter is like a must. If you have a house like most of my family, then your house is on acreage/land. Then you kind of have a Herschel type setup where you can be away from the craziness. If you don't, and you're not so lucky and you live in a condo like I do or an apartment, then you might want to do like all my family does that lives in the area. We all have an agreed upon location somewhere in the woods where we can all camp, set up, regroup, meet together. Number 2. Just in case you can't read, ammo and other related goods or supplies. My family buys and stocks ammo in different calibers for various reasons. For hunting, self-defense, etc. A good way to start to get it like a reserve is to buy a box or whatever you want to call it. Shells, slugs, just ammunition, a box of ammunition a month. And then what do you know, after 6 months you got 6 boxes. Because your food's not going to be packaged for you, and you're not going to be able to go through a drive-through, and I doubt money will be worth anything at that time. And my extended family, what I mean by extended family means I don't live near them. The family that lives in a Herschel type scenario also stocks ammo, but they don't plan to flee where they are, so what they're most focused on is a canned food, like a canned tuna, stuff like that. Number 3.
In the money.
Finding a water source. I guess you can call it lucky. Where I live, there are like mountain springs. Or a way to just avoid worrying about water at all is I think they sell a straw. I'm pretty sure they sell a straw that converts like dirty water and other liquids drinkable.
Number 4.5.
Half because it's like 2 in 1, but they mostly go together, and that is stocking up on medication and medical supplies like first aid kits. Quick story time. Sometime before Y2K, you know that phenomenon that like the world would stop in its place? Well, my whole family, and I'm sure others, like really went overboard and freaked out. My family freaked out so much that they almost went overboard on over-the-counter medication, painkillers, antibiotics, bandages, anti-infection juice, like peroxide, extra prescriptions, and they even cleaned out their bank accounts. They took leave of absences from work, and we all know nothing happened, but that was way before we had a Trump as president. Number 5. All extras. By extras, I mean items not as drastically important, but if possible to get, then good for you. A radio, battery run, or crankable like on Drake and Josh. Knife or knives, gas bottles, the red ones, in case the area becomes unsafe. And maps, not the Google app. Passports, birth certificates, shot records, etc. Well, these are some of the tips/routine that my extended family and my live near family does or did to prepare for when an unqualified person gets a high position of power and divides and separates America and possibly leads the United States to the brink of oblivion. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for almost daily gaming videos, and remember, just because you don't hear people talk about something, it doesn't always mean the situation's over with. So again, thanks for watching.